Have you ever opened a big code base and felt completely lost about what to do next? The problem gets even bigger when you have to tell an AI agent what to work on next. What's the fastest way to surface the current next task context for a project? Open an IDE, but the IDE starts with many features that are not the latest active context. How about digging through a file? Will that file always be updated with the latest context? What you want is a very rapid input REPL that produces a tightly focused description of the next change. The fastest way is a simple, always available command that returns the most up-to-date context. I was already getting great results from make, where one short command lists all the DevOps commands I use regularly on a project. I would have the agent create new make rules for any task we performed regularly, and it works great. So I thought the most useful context provider would probably have to be an equally easy, always available command that shows the next step on the long, winding path of building a project. I wanted the human developer and the AI agent to share access to that same path at any time. This is the TA next command. It shows the task that you and the agent have agreed is the highest priority. Each task is essentially a long, very specific, custom prompt for the agent to work on. It's a portable prompt, so it can be used with any agent or MCP or agent harness if you're trying new ones. Your long task prompt won't be discarded by the agent if you accidentally hit one of the key combos that agents sometimes use to discard whole prompts unrecoverably. TA Next becomes the first thing you look at when you start a work session of any duration. Task Agent doesn't depend on GitHub issues. It doesn't rely on Jira. It's local first, so task processing is instant. There's no waiting on slow, bloated enterprise servers. Then there are new task ideas. They're ephemeral and easily lost if you don't capture them in time. You might be on the phone with a client, or an AI agent might find a bug while working on something else. TA New lets you or the agent capture that thought in seconds without breaking flow. So here is TA New, and I'm going to say for a different repo, because I can put a task in a different repo on this same machine. So I'm going to say TA New repo CliQ, and the item is run performance logging on whole session to troubleshoot performance issues. I can do this on multiple lines. Review, report, analyze, report. This is kind of a short one, but it's pretty easy to just do this as a sideline. get it out of your hair, and then move on. So this will create a ticket in the other repo. Since I have several repos on here, here are my repos. Maybe I need to run performance analysis on Task Agent also. But here are the other repos on this machine, and we can analyze, we can add tickets to any of these, and review tickets, update tickets, and so can the agents. If you're working on two repos that interact with each other, that share an interface, or a data store, or anything like that, you can write tickets, or if one, let's say an agent uses one of the other repos you're working on, like CliQ or Task Agent, you can add tasks to Task Agent if you find problems in Task Agent, as I am doing. And I have several others that interact with each other, like stations. Task Agent uses stations. So that's TA new, Task Agent new for the MCP. And that's very important for capturing those ephemeral ideas that you want to capture and then move on in your main flow, because typically you're working on a main flow task and you don't want to interrupt it for things that aren't directly related to the main flow. And when the work is finished, TA done closes the loop. So I can create a new test task, TA new, let's just go new test task, new test task, tasks are created by default in draft mode, so it'll be farther down in the list. And this is taking unusually long. I think I'm having some computer problems. Probably not a problem with Task Agent, but I'm going to add a ticket for performance on Task Agent 2. So I am just going to, the Task Agent is working pretty quickly now, but there are some intermediate problems here, so I'm going to, I think it might have to do with CliQ. I'm going to add a performance monitoring ticket to Task Agent. And it's as easy as just typing it out and adding a few notes. Let's see, add logging, kind of an imaginative, let's see, analyze logging, make it easy to turn logging on and off, and notify if it's on. Anything else that I need in performance logging? Probably not. Okay, so that creates the task there, but let's show, I'm going to show how it's marked done to create it, and that's because I think it's Git committed in the task store, and the tasks can be easily backed up. You could say Git push store, Git commit store, things like that are built into task agent. The task list is linkable into your docs tasks, but it's a symlink and you can remove the symlink easily. So now I'm going to add a test task. Let's call it new because I think I already have an existing one. And that should create a task right there. And then I'm going to mark it done. So I can demonstrate this TA done right there. And I already did this part of the demo earlier, so that task already exists. So now I'm going to mark it done. This will mark that task done. And there we have it. That closes the loop. And you can see that it created a commit right there. It may have pushed it. I think that might be what's slowing it down a little bit. But you don't want your tasks getting lost. So they're pretty important for the project and for your review of the project. So we want to make very sure that we aren't losing our tasks. So we create a Git repo for them once they are migrated into the regular store, because you can just use them in the file path and the docs task directory, tasks directory. But if you migrate it into the store, they're usable with the start TA start function, where you can create Git Worktrees and start tasks agents working on a task in a work tree on a branch inside the local repo. So not adding to the in a Git ignored folder in the local repo. So you can have an agent working on a task in another branch while you work on the main branch or UAT branch. It can be working on a feature branch in a Git work tree. So that shows TA done. Let's see if I go back down here and restart this. Changes committed and the queue advances. Run TA next again, and the next highest priority is already waiting. Capture, execute, complete the whole life cycle without ever leaving your terminal. By giving the agent a constant structured list of related tasks and nested groups, we give it a much fuller picture of where the project is going. Commands like TA list show the big picture, while TA Prior lets you prioritize. So you can move up and down in the list, move items into different orders, reorder them, and you can mark them active or pending, demote them back to just pending. You can view them, and you can make them subtasks of other subtasks, mostly by using Vim-like navigation. So I can make this a subtask, and it is now a subtask of Chmod, and I could make it a blocker of Chmod in the same way. By using L. And it's all plain text. TA tree draws the dependency hierarchy. And you can use that with grep. TA list text outputs the list in text so you can grep it. There's also a TA search tool. If there's only one match for whatever slug you type in, it will show the details of that slug. But if there is multiple, it will show this list, which you can look at the details of. Your task queue is as scriptable as the rest of your shell. And because the agent also has access to the project history, especially when combined with Git log, it can see exactly how most recent improvements map to the project goals. And some tasks can be marked as incidents or regressions, and multiple findings documents can be added, giving you a really rich review of the current task. The long-range trajectory becomes instantly apparent to both the human and the AI. So why build this at all? We're in a weird place culturally. AI hype has made promoters AI-centric. AI agent promoters advertise vibe coding to demonstrate the power of the agent. They'll have the agent clone an existing application in a few minutes. It's impressive, but only useful if what you want is a copy of a product that already exists, built in a single day, and never improved again. Maybe the promoters only need it to last the length of the video they're producing. The moment you're building a novel product, one you intend to refine and optimize, you realize that the last thing you want underneath it is a vibe foundation. You want a robust and sturdy foundation, not a vibrating one. Instead of vibe coding, Task Agent is the product of deliberate coding. Your project intent is laid out as a sequence of steps along a path to a goal. You and your agent can deliberate over the steps and the path. Large steps can be decomposed into smaller ones, each with visible completion criteria. Task Agent was bootstrapped with its own earliest versions. It began life inside a larger product that used folder paths as queues in a state machine workflow. That internal tool was so productive that we wanted it in every product we develop. So we extracted it into a standalone product you can install with UV Tool Install Task Agent. Nearly every change to Task Agent from the very beginning has been managed by Task Agent itself. It works entirely independently of the agent model, the agent harness, and the AI service provider. The CLI is the primary interface, but it also ships with an MCP server, so AI agents have the exact same command structure always available. And with the new /next command plugin, available now for anti-gravity and coming shortly to Claude Code and other harnesses, you can have your agent call TA next and begin the work on the top task with a single command. Next. This is in anti-gravity, Gemini, obviously. And we can see it is reading the task there. It's probably still going to ask me something, but then I can just have it continue. So that's just a shortcut for you telling it, use Task Agent, select the next task, and start on it. Right now, there's a big trend in AI coding space. People are hyper-focused on things like skill-MD files, autonomous loops, and complex agent harness tools. But all of that focus is on the agent side. It's all about trying to improve the agent itself. Task Agent approaches the same problem set from the other end, the project end, the human end. Instead of trying to improve the agent, we focus on improving the task and project environment that the agent and the human operate in. Which brings us back to TA strategy. That digest that you saw at the top of the TA Next. This is a document you write once and refine over time. It describes the overall vision, the guiding principles, and the priorities for the project. Every time an agent starts a session, it can read the strategy to reorient itself. It's not just a task list. It's a persistent reminder of why we are building what we are building and how we've decided to approach it. Agents lose context between sessions. Strategy gives it back to them instantly. And when your projects grow and start interacting with each other, Task Agent scales with you. Commands like TA store list let you or the agent view and manage cross-project tasks across related codebases seamlessly. This independence comes from going back to basics. Task Agent is built around project management fundamentals, Kanban and Agile, honed during the outsourcing boom of the late 90s and early 2000s. We don't need to reinvent project management for AI. Any outsourced worker or newly onboarded AI agent needs context, direction, and a clear stepwise path. By the time the agent writes code, the work has already been decomposed into clear, completable steps along a path envisioned by a product owner to satisfy an envisioned end user. Task Agent just makes that workflow instantly available from your CLI. You don't even need an AI agent to get value from Task Agent. At its core, it helps human developers work locally with the tasks and issues that are shared on a server. It works with GitHub issues today. Jira and Rally integrations are on the roadmap. If you just want a blazing fast, local-first way to manage your GitHub issues right from your terminal or favorite text editor, Task Agent serves as the perfect bridge. The source code is open and modifications are easy. You can bring new features to your team without waiting for a massive corporation to update their software. This is just the beginning.